Hey, what's doing YouTube? All right, I got another Q&A video for you guys today, and it's a question that I get a lot. Another one that I don't like, because I never have an answer, is how many calories are you on? And the reason why I don't have an answer is because I've never counted the calories. It's not something that I've ever used as a gauge for when I'm dieting or when I'm in the off season or anything like that. And the main reason why is because of my job. So I'm a plasterer by trade. I did it for 17 years. My dad and I ran our own business. So it's a very physical job, like probably as physical job as you're going to get. The last 3 years, I've switched to property maintenance. So I'm still working as a plasterer, but a little bit more broader sort of things. So I work for one of the biggest building companies in Sydney. So it's not as physically demanding as when you're on the job site. You know, throwing up plasterboard and working on ceilings all day, which was not a great thing for my bodybuilding. So I eventually switched over. But anyway, that's another story. But the problem is with a physical job is you don't know exactly how many calories you're going to be burning in the day. Just depends on what you're going to be doing that day. Some days could be very physically demanding, where you're doing a tremendous workload, where and then there's going to be other days where it's a little bit cruisier, where it's there's not going to be as much fuel burnt, if you know what I mean. So I have tried a couple of times with the Fitness Pal, My Fitness Pal, whatever that thing is, to fill out like my daily meals and all that sort of thing, because I pretty much eat the same thing every day. So I would know roughly what the calories are, but I'm too much of a perfectionist, and I start wanting to count the veggies, and it's got to be spot on. So and you always get a different result. So I just thought I don't need this, and so what I do is I go more by instinct, and I go meal by meal. So when I'm dieting, normally, except for breakfast, I'll have protein, carbs, and fats, and I'll pretty much keep that all the way through until the last week. But most meals I either choose between protein and carbs or protein and fats, and I find that when I'm working, I find my energy levels are more stable with protein and fats. And so what I do is I just basically eat the same 5 meals year round, and I just add and subtract things. So in the off season, most of my meals will have protein, carbs, and fats. So an example would be when I'm dieting, my second meal is chicken and avocado. So I'll have roughly 150 to 200 grams of chicken, depending where I'm at, and between 100 grams to 50 grams of avocado, roughly, when I'm just depending on where I'm at with my diet, and I just sort of adjust things from there. I always have veggies and my sauerkraut, tomato, and cucumbers and that sort of stuff to make things taste a bit better and help in digestion as well. And sometimes a piece of fruit, but it's always roughly about the same food, and I just add and subtract things as I go. So what I would add to my meals in the off season, to that chicken avocado meal, would be just sweet potato. So I'll start with 100 grams, and if I need more, I'll go to 150, then 200, then 250, 300, that sort of thing. Just depending on what's happening in with the scale and the mirror is the two things that I go by. And when I'm dieting, I also, and obviously when I'm off season as well, I go by my performance in the gym. I go by strength, so I track all my major lifts, and I film my workouts. So I'm trying to beat my workouts each time. So if I'm still doing that while I'm dieting, then I'm on the right track. And if I'm losing the body fat as well, I know things are working. It's a little bit hard to describe describe the feeling that you need when you're dieting, but you do need to feel like your energy is getting zapped, sort of uh, week after week, gradually more and more. So by the end of the diet, it's pretty much hard to get out of bed, sort of thing. That's kind of where you need to be if you want to be lean enough to compete, at the high level in IFBB in Australia. But so just wrapping up, I don't think it's a bad thing to count calories, and if you're a beginner, it's probably something that I would suggest. It's just I don't do it myself. I got a lot of experience dieting. I know how I should feel, and I know how I should look and how I should be performing in the gym. So a lot of bodybuilding is problem solving, and I've been doing it a long time now. So I've kind of worked out what I need to do for myself. But if you're a beginner or someone that is good with numbers and all that sort of thing, likes to track everything, then it definitely, I'm saying it definitely is a good option for other people, but just not for me. So that's one question that I hate getting because I kind of roughly know. Sometimes I give some people an answer, but I don't really know. So I hate that question.